There's a design vibe that sits between technology and zen. Not noisy, not flashy, but calm, friendly, and purposeful. You might have experienced it the first time you saw the Wii menu, or picked up a simple gadget with a clean, glossy interface. This is Technozen, a visual and cultural aesthetic rooted in simplicity, balance, and futuristic optimism. In this video, we're breaking down what Technozen is, where it came from, what it looks and feels like, and why it resonates with people in the modern day. As you've likely noticed, there is a huge emphasis on the color green in Technozen art. The shading is typically bright, while also maintaining an organic look and feel. Nature is also extremely prominent in Technozen art, not unlike Frutiger Aero. However, unlike Frutiger Aero, Technozen had less focus on the future and more on just straight vibes. Technozen was all about creating a sense of peace for the people exploring tech concepts that were relatively new at the time. Also, Technozen takes more influence from Japan and general Asian media. Alright, now that you understand the fundamentals of the Technozen aesthetic, it's time to look at some of the most famous examples of the aesthetic's use in the 2000s. Now, if you saw my previous video on Dorfic, you'll have seen that basically every Frutiger aesthetic was prominent in 2000s interior design. Technozen, though, was specifically prevalent in interior design. Interior design that featured Technozen could be defined by two main motifs: sterile minimalism, yep, you heard that right, and natural materials. For a Frutiger aesthetic, Technozen was oddly minimalistic. Examining Technozen interiors, it's not hard to notice a repeating pattern of simplicity. There's no clutter anywhere. And looking closer, there's a ton of natural materials, mostly wood. I recommend a Market Talk podcast video on Technozen for more information on interior design with the aesthetic. And also, it's basically the only other video explaining Technozen, so please go watch it and give some support. Moving on from interior design, Technozen was also prominently featured in the Wii console's branding and many of its games. Now, the Wii and Wii U were overall very Frutiger Aero consoles, as their menus were glossy and had an emphasis on futurism. When it came to Technozen specifically though, Wii Sports was a pretty good example. Just take a look at the tennis map. Another console that fits pretty well into the aesthetic was the lime green 3DS. The forest green 3DS was also pretty Technozen. Just look at this ad for it. Also, this mint green 3DS XL skin has the same kind of mint green that comes up a lot in Technozen art. These are actually pretty cool, so if this video gets 200 likes, I'll get one and show it on the channel. Before we move on to Technozen phones, I just want to quickly ask you guys to leave a like if you're enjoying this video, to help it push it on YouTube, and maybe, just maybe, subscribe as well. Alright, let's return. So, phones and gadgets. Technozen really shines here because it was so popular in mid to late 2000s Japanese tech. This LG Verizon phone with the sliding numerical keypad is probably my favorite example of Technozen. It looks so aesthetic. Look at its glossy menu. It almost looks edible. Just kidding, but seriously, when are we getting MSN Messenger gummies? Some other cool Technozen gadgets are the green T-Mobile Sidekick from 2003, the green Sony Cybershot camera from 2008, and the green iPod Shuffle of 2007. I want all these. Also, I know this isn't really a gadget, but it's still worth looking at. There was an Android app called Green Water Drop Keyboard that made your Android keyboard look glossy, green, and aquatic. There's very little information on the app as it doesn't seem to have been super popular when it was around, because as you can see, the official website is down. So, what happened to lime and mint green tech? What happened to glossy green user interfaces? Well, just like the rest of Frutiger Aero, it was phased out for minimalism and flat design in the early 2010s. Bright, colorful, and optimistic design no longer appealed to consumers. The world grew up. Since 2023, Frutiger Aero and its sub-aesthetics have become immensely popular on YouTube and Reddit. r/Technozen has a small active community of enthusiasts. Searching for Technozen on YouTube brings up a plethora of music mixes and playlists, in the style of the aesthetic. In the 2000s aesthetic music scene, Technozen is definitely one of the top aesthetics. Big shout out to Min, she makes 2000s aesthetic music playlists and mixes that are all super high quality. She's also made more than a few in the Technozen style that have great visuals. I highly recommend checking them out. Alright, that's all for this video. Link in the description to our 2000s Tech Discord server, as well as my Pinterest profile so that you can see almost every image used in this video. Thanks so much for watching. Stay nostalgic.